NDTV Profit's deep dive on Vodafone Idea. According to TRI data, Indian private telcos reported decline in subscribers, and one of them was Vodafone Idea. The private telcos is losing subscribers, and what's the reason behind it? My colleague Hiral joins in with a detailed analysis on this.
If you see in terms of Vodafone, the speed at which Vodafone is losing subscribers, that's far behind versus what the investors are losing in terms of wealth. Let's quickly take a look at, what should an investor do now. Now, Vodafone has been at a loss of subscribers from 225.9 million in the fourth quarter of FY23. It's come down to 205 million in the current quarter. So that's the quantum that we are looking at. Now, why this kind of a loss? Couple of reasons. One is the tariff hikes have led to elevated subscriber losses for the private sector, Vodafone being on the top priority here. Though a lot of movement is happening towards BSNL. Secondly, you are seeing consolidation that's happening with dual SIM card holders, right? So that's one of the reasons why you're seeing that cut that has come in. Moving on, the customers are upgrading to 4G and 5G mobile handsets. And very lastly, if you see in terms of the network coverage, that has been absolutely weak for the Vodafone customers on the outskirts. So these are the four reasons why the subscribers are going away. Now, moving on from here on, the other aspect, what is not working is the AGR dues. 70,300 odd crores is what Vodafone has versus a cash balance of 13,620 odd crores. Now, their AGR dues are highest amongst the industry and Jio is absolutely next to negligible. This with ballooning debt from 2016 to 3,250. That's the number that we're talking about, that it has moved from the fourth quarter to the second quarter of FY25. Apart from the debt, if you talk about the management, now they are sitting with the biggest assumption. If you read this, they've clearly said that in terms of where their debt is concerned or the AGR dues are concerned, they are expecting the government to convert maximum of it into equity. Now, this is not something which the government has come out and clarified or said anything about this in public, but that is what the management is sitting on in terms of an assumption. If this does not happen, this is going to be one of the major concerns that the company will be facing. Moving from this, if you see in terms of the other aspects, they've been losing customer market share from 20.7%, it's come down to 18.6%. If you see in terms of the revenue market share of Vodafone as well, that has come down from 18.2% to a 17%. So these are a few of the reasons that we've been tracking pretty closely from here on. Now look at the CAPEX. Vodafone's CAPEX in the second quarter has increased, but it's the least amongst the peers as well. If you talk about Bharti or if you talk about Reliance Jio as well. So that, and this is something which they will have to bump up. If they do not, there will be troubles. And to this, there is increased debt. They are not able to get the funding that they need as well. Now, this is the overall picture that you're looking at in terms of what the CAPEX plan looks like. 520 is what they did earlier. This was the quarter where they did increase it to 1,360, but nothing beyond that has happened. What has this led to? This has actually led to investors losing a lot of wealth. The stock is down nearly 78% in the last 6 months. And if you see from the recent highs as well, little over 60% in the last 1 year is what we've seen. So that's the kind of cuts that we've been noticing with regards to where the investor losing wealth goes. The key question comes in over here is whether should a retail investor stay invested in Vodafone Idea or book profits, because the retail participation has been very high, but there are no fundamentals to back this kind of participation. So mainly either it's a trader-driven participation that you're seeing, but an investor who's holding the stock from a fundamental perspective, this is a question that you should be asking yourself.